voice, Sharon. So I'm fanning over here. So. Secretary General, Teresa Wankin, Secretary General of Canto. Dr. Kim Madaleo, I've been practicing her name all evening. Deputy Chairman of the Board of Telecommunications Authority of Trinidad and Tobago. Members of the Board of Telecommunications Authority of Trinidad and Tobago. Mr. Wayne Naked, National Chief Digital Officer, Ministry of Digital Transformation. Mrs. Cynthia Reddock Downs, Chief Executive Officer of Telecommunications Authority of Trinidad and Tobago. Representatives of our key stakeholder organizations, management and staff of the Telecommunications Authority of Trinidad and Tobago, specially invited guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. How did I do in protocols? Yeah. All right. So guys, I am really grateful that you've allowed me some time to join your interfaith ceremony. And I would just like to say that my soul is full listening to those young people sing, perform, and what about the little panelist this morning? She was just amazing. That is courage, huh? That is courage. She's just the littlest person in this room, and she started us off in an amazing way. So allow me this time to share with you a few words, and again express my appreciation for the invitation to this TATT family event. That's how I see it. Yes? And to recognize your amazing and multifaceted contribution as a promoter of universal access, as a business developer in the liberalization of the telecom sector, as a regulator and protector of the public in both the broadcasting and telecommunications space. And of course, the list goes on. So you're one of those unsung heroes who are behind the scenes, who are doing human service for our country. Many of our citizens may not know who you are and exactly what you do, but the value of your work to ensure fairness and affordable telecommunications and broadcast services is felt every day. So just on behalf of everybody who is not working at TATT today, I want to say thank you for all that you do, your unsung heroes. Give yourself a round of applause. So guys, today, as we all stand on the brink of achieving greatness, specifically for our organization, because TATT is also an organization in and of itself, not just our protector and regulator. Your corporate goals are not just targets on paper or on a spreadsheet. Just because I'm a finance guy, I have to throw in a spreadsheet. They are in fact milestones on our journey towards our aspirations, which for me includes excellence, growth, and innovation. But as we all know, the path to success in achieving our goals is really smooth. It's been 20 years, huh? And that's just the start. It is no walk in the park. This path is strewn, or has been strewn, I'm sure, with challenges that test your resolve, to test our creativity and our ability to fully collaborate with others to create true teamwork. You're the organization that took us from a monopoly environment into what we are today. Imagine the jobs that have been created, imagine the creativity and the artists and everything that has been performed, because as much as we appreciate the monopoly that was there before, the world has changed, yes? So today I want to talk about how we can overcome these challenges and achieve our corporate goals together. That's my mandate today. Okay, so I'm going to start with a quote. Tony Robbins says, setting goals is the first step into turning the invisible into the visible. And once we set aspirational goals, we know that the obstacles and challenges to achieving those goals will exist, and they will persist. So in pursuit of our goals, let us first and foremost embrace those challenges as you've done, and embrace all those challenges we face and plan to overcome them. So every obstacle is an opportunity in disguise. Yes? It's a chance to innovate, to think outside the box, and to push those boundaries of what we believe is possible. I say, don't doubt the possible, doubt the impossible. right? That was just for me, that wasn't. I believe we are a nation of storytellers. So please bear with me as I share a little experience from my own career journey. I guess you asked me here to share a little bit, right? So many years ago, about 24 years exactly, I was working for an international financial institution, and I was supposed to go and take up a job in Poland of all places. And for that to happen, the boss of the region had to approve it. And I, visited Poland, checked out apartments, everything was married yet, stuff. And then the approval never came. And I was like, what's going on? And the boss of the region, who happened to be of Trinidadian descent as well, but based out in the States, said, I'm not letting you go. I'm now moving you to Miami to help our team here first. Because I was what you call a financial engineer, structured finance. So I went up there, guys, you can guess my age, but I was in my early 20s, and I went into this team of veterans. People who are people who think they know more than you. I'm sure when you started the Telecommunications Authority, everybody knew more than you, right? Everybody who was there before, they knew more than you. So that was my experience. And these guys were all veterans. They were investment bankers. So I don't know if you have a little history of investment. They're like the rock stars of the finance world. They make millions of dollars. Nobody could tell them anything. They do these huge transactions. They brought down the world in 2007 in financial crisis. So, that was our vision for the apocalypse. So I went up there and I'm thinking, okay, I'm one of the team. Little did I know, nobody considered me part of their team. Because what had I done to deserve that position? So I'm so naive. I'm just thrilled to be with this amazing team of people and thinking that I've got the job. Another job was declined because they wanted me here. I thought they wanted me there. One person wanted me there, nobody else. So they started to give me these tasks. And I thought it was because they liked me. You ever had that experience where you think people like you and then you find out later on that they don't like you? So back in those days, I don't know how many of you are familiar with Central America, but we covered Central American region as well as the Caribbean region. And later on, for my sins, I got the Andean region as well. But at that time, El Salvador, I'll speak about this country with a lot of respect, they had their own currency. They were not yet a US-based dollar. They adopted the US dollar later that year. So this team gave me this transaction. It was to raise money for coffee farmers in El Salvador. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm just here in the arena, $80 billion US dollar deal. They must love me. So I went to El Salvador. I couldn't speak Spanish. I had to get a translator. And these guys rolled out the red carpet, the government, and they were like, great to have you. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is my life now. I'm a superstar. Mr. Wilson, you know the finance world, you know how you feel when you get a big mandate, right? So you go up there and you bid, and I won the deal. They gave me the deal, and I was like, oh my gosh, I got the deal. And everybody in the office was like, congratulations. Why is this feeling funny? So later on, I'm working very hard on this transaction and realizing this thing is impossible. Coffee farmers made no money. How are you going to pay back this loan? All right. So, and then I found out that I was the only bidder. Not a single other bank bid. That's why I won. I got no help. They gave me the deal that nobody wanted because nobody thought it could be done, including the competition. In fact, they rolled out the red carpet for me, the Ministry of Agriculture, the Central Bank, everybody, because nobody else came. I was the only bank who showed up. A lot of time for me. Well, guys, I came from Trinidad and Tobago. And in Trinidad and Tobago, back in those days, the bank I worked for, I worked with some really bright gentlemen, and we came up with a structure, with different structures that allowed us to defer payments and find ways and So I came up with a new structure. Later and I was doing a US deal, and the government only had their local currency. This was in September. By December, guess what happened? They dollarized, so now my bond was now the only currency. Sad story in a way, but there was a massive earthquake. Now, that's probably a bad thing, that is a bad thing, I'm sure, but it wasn't a bad thing for me, because it destroyed all of the coffee plantations in the region. But guess who were the only coffee farmers who had a fund of $80 million? So they had access to this fund, they drew on it first, and the coffee farmer, and the price of coffee did what? Supply and demand. Supply went. So the coffee farmers in El Salvador, so this bond, by the way, was oversubscribed massively at the end of the day. The coffee farmers were able to pay back this 10-year facility in 6 years, and I'm still a rock star in El Salvador. And the bank made $8 million. So I remember my boss, and if some of you might guess who it is at the time, you might know who it is, running down the corridor telling people in December, stop booking deals, book it in January, Ian just made budget. So the impossible became possible. So in my experience, therefore, challenges, now nobody helped me, because nobody liked me. But that means I got all the credit. I bought a house from that bonus. My mother still lives in it today. So challenges force us to grow, to learn, and to become stronger. Nobody doubted me ever again after that, right? So that's why I got the Andean region after that, which is Brazil, Argentina, all those, the Peru, Colombia, big countries now, not just the small ones. They're the crucibles in which our skills are tested, our character is forged. Instead of fearing them, let's welcome them with open arms and with determination to conquer them. In this spirit, remember Booker T. Washington said, you measure the size of the accomplishment by the obstacles you have to overcome to reach your goals. So don't be afraid, TATT. The next 20 years, you're going to show up. So next, let's focus on our vision and teamwork. And by the way, the participation of your team members today really speaks volumes. So when I hear teamwork, I'm smiling. Our corporate goals are a reflection of our shared vision for the future. We can all be different and yet have a shared goal. Achievement of our goals and their alignment to our purpose is the reason we come to work every day and give up our best. When the going gets tough, I know what you thought I was going to say, right? It is essential to keep that vision in mind. Yes, the tough get going. Remember why we started this journey and what we aim to achieve 20 years in. A clear, compelling vision will guide us through the darkest times when all seems impossible. Everybody's unhappy. No, you can make no one happy. We're not a roti. You can't make everybody happy. That's what my mother always says. And keep us motivated to push forward. Confucius, of course, ancient Chinese philosopher, famously said, when it is obvious that the goals cannot be reached, don't adjust the goals, adjust the action steps or the plan. Teamwork is another critical element in overcoming challenges. No one can achieve great things alone. We need to rely on each other's strengths, support each other through difficulties, and celebrate our successes together. Communication, collaboration, and mutual respect are the pillars of a strong team. So when we work together, there's no challenge too great, no goal is too distant. So one of my favorite leaders out there, NBA coach Phil Jackson, he says, you all must have heard this one before. Say it with me if you know it. The strength of the team is each individual member, and the strength of each member is the team. So let's commit to being the best team we can be, united by our common purpose and driven by our collective ambition. Next is resilience, and I'm sure for TATT that is your secret weapon, I'm sure of it. Because being the first in anything success requires resilience. Resilience must become a part of the organization's DNA. There will be setbacks. There will be moments of doubt and frustration, but resilience means getting back up every time we fall. Every time we fall. Courage is not always flashy and big like a superhero or the Avengers. Courage is feeling and getting up tomorrow and going at it again. Sometimes it's quiet, it's silent. It means getting right back up. It means maintaining a positive attitude even when things do not go as planned. It means learning from our mistakes and using those lessons to propel us forward. Resilience is not just about enduring hardship. We could all be a martyr at times. It's about thriving in the face of it. In this vein, I'm a proponent that every person who has responsibility for directing others, and I'm staring at my CEO now, I feel your pain, must understand and develop coaching and change management skills in order to be active and visible in creating the work environment and team culture needed to overcome challenges and deliver on the organization's goals and mandates. You have to be the bad guy sometimes. You have to be coach sometimes. I've had a boss who always liked to be loved, and that was the worst outcome he could have tried for. So, a great man, 10 points anybody gets who's a great man, once said, if you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. Anyone knew who that was? Martin Luther King Jr. So for me, this captures viscerally the essence of resilience. We all want to run. And if you can't run, you feel like I can't go anywhere. Sometimes it's a crawl that will get you there. Finally, let's celebrate today. Let's celebrate our success. Let's celebrate the progress. Let's celebrate 20 years, 2 months, and 11 days. Right? Because we couldn't make it even July the 1st. But no matter how small, achieving our corporate goals is a journey made up of many steps. Each step forward is a victory worth acknowledging. Celebrating these small wins keeps our morale high and reminds us that we are moving in the right direction. It builds momentum, keeps us focused on that ultimate prize, inclusion. In conclusion, overcoming challenges and achieving our corporate goals requires embracing obstacles, staying focused on our vision, working together as a team, demonstrating resilience, and celebrating our progress and our successes. You have the talent, you have the passion, and that determination to succeed. So together, you will not just meet your goals, of course you will exceed them. You will set new standards of excellence and create a legacy of success for the next and many more 20 years. So everybody who knows me knows I cannot do a speech without a Steve Jobs quote. I'm sorry. So Steve Jobs said this to all us dreamers in the world. He said, the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. So be a little crazy. So let's move forward with confidence and conviction, knowing that the challenges you face are stepping stones towards your greatest achievements, which are yet to come. So my final quote today is from Winston Churchill, and he said, success is not final, failure is not fatal, it is the courage to continue that counts. So thank you sincerely for your time. Thank you for the opportunity to be here today. I am thrilled to have been invited. My soul is full. Thank you very much.